We are live, Mrs. Roller.
Okay, so I'm going to try and explain to Mr. Sawatzky the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines.
I got this.
Okay, so first of all, parallel lines are two non-vertical lines that are parallel, then their slopes are going to be equal. In the second statement here, you see that it says if the slopes of two distinct non-vertical lines are equal, then the slopes are parallel. The reason we use the word distinct would be because they can have the same slope and be the same line. Distinct means they're two different lines. Okay, all vertical and horizontal lines are parallel, and we're going to look at the first example.
Can I just stop for a second and tell you how exciting this lesson is, especially because it's on YouTube? This is really interesting to me.
Okay, I'm glad. Are the lines shown in the graph parallel? We're not going to do this by just looking at it. We'd have to use the slope formula to find the slope of each line. Do you know the slope formula?
7.
No, but good
Pi,
guess.
3.14.
Slope is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1.
Of course.
So we would take the slope of the first line and we would have 3 plus 5 over 1 plus 3. And that gives me 8 over 4, which is equal to?
2.
Very good. See, you know more than history. Okay.
Math is history.
You can't keep track of history without math.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Carry on.
Then the slope of the next line is going to be the same thing. We're going to do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we would have 4 plus 2 over 5 minus 2. And we get 6 over 3, which is equal to?
2. And I dropped the camera while I was so excited. But we're back in the game.
So if they have the same slope and they are two distinct lines, not the same line, then they are?
Awesome.
And
Parallel.
Parallel. Yes, they are parallel. Okay. Next thing you need to remember is how to write an equation in slope-intercept form for the line to parallel to y equals 4x minus 2 that contains that point. If we remember, you can use point slope and you would have y2 minus y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Do we know the slope of this line? The slope would be 4, because that's the number in front of x. So we would have y plus 2 is equal to 4 times x plus 2. And then we just have to solve it. We get y plus 2 equals 4x plus 8.
Can you simplify that?
Yes, you can. What do you think we could do? We can subtract 2 from both sides, and you get y equals 4x plus 6.
That's exciting.
Very exciting. Okay, perpendicular lines. Two non-vertical lines are perpendicular, then the product of their slopes is -1. This is another way of saying that the line and its negative reciprocal, the slope and its negative reciprocal, are perpendicular. So for example, if the slope of the first line was 2, the negative reciprocal would be -1/2. If I were to multiply those two together, I would get -1. So that would make the lines perpendicular. Okay, any horizontal and vertical line will be perpendicular because if you cross a vertical and a horizontal line, you will get a right angle. Okay, just a couple more examples and we will be done.
But I want more.
Well, then I will find more for you to do afterwards. There's lots of enrichment activities you can do with this.
Thank you, Mrs. Roller.
You're very welcome. What is an equation in slope-intercept form for the line perpendicular to y equals 3x plus 2 that contains the point 6, 2? Do I know the slope of this line? The slope is 3. What would be the negative reciprocal of 3?
-3.
-1/3.
-1/3.
Okay, so my slope is
Every time I talk, my camera falls.
-1/3. Now all I need to do is use again that point slope formula. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And if you look at your points, you have your x1 and your y1. So we have y minus 2 is equal to the new slope, which was -1/3 times x minus 6. In simple form, we get y minus 2 equals -1/3 x plus 2. And we get y equals -1/3 x plus 4. Did you understand that, Mr. Sawatzky?
Every little bit.
Cool. Okay, are the lines of the graph perpendicular, how would we figure that out? What do we need to know if lines are perpendicular? We need to know their
Right angle intersection.
slopes.
Slopes.
Slopes. So we're going to find the slope of each line, and we would have 5 plus 4 over negative 2 minus 1 gives me 9 over negative 3, which gives me a slope of,
Negative 3.
good job. The other line would be 4 minus 1 over 2 plus 4, which gives me 3 over
1/2.
6, which equals 1/2. Is this the negative reciprocal with the product of these be negative 1?
No.
No, so they are
Just the
not.
way you said it told me the answer is no, Mrs. Roller.
Okay.
You led me.
Not perpendicular.
Mhm.
Okay, one more question and we are done. What is an equation for a line perpendicular to one shown that contains 5, negative 1? Okay, first thing I need to do is find the slope of that line. And once again, we go back to our slope formula. We have m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So we have 3 plus 7 over 2 plus 2. We get 10 over 4.
2.5.
Or 5 over 2. What would be the perpendicular slope? Don't want to change it out of fraction. It's easier to work with a fraction of these.
Is that right?
It really
I
is.
never knew that.
Yes, it is. So the negative reciprocal would be negative 2/5 is the slope of the next line. So now I need to use that slope at these points. So we would just plug it back in and we'd have y plus 1 is equal to negative 2/5 times x minus 5. Solve that through. We have y plus 1 equals negative 2/5 x. Don't forget to feed the babies. You got to
Oh my.
both. Otherwise, we know what happens, and we get these are both negatives, so it becomes positive. 5 goes into 5 at once, and we have 2. Subtract 1 from both sides, and we would have y equals negative 2/5 x plus 1. And that is how we solve for slopes of perpendicular and parallel lines. If you are not sure how to do this, please go review this video again, and if not, if that still doesn't help, then I will be available to help you in class.
I have a question.
Sure.
This is a history question. Do you believe that Y2K, the panic over Y2K, is parallel to the panic over the end of the world that's supposed to come on December 12th or 21st? Do you believe that those things are parallel? Yes or no? Why?
No, because I don't know the slopes of the lines.
Good night, everybody.